do it, baby.
What's going on, Jay? You ready to get this started?
I'm ready to get it started, man. Let's go. Man, we're going to try a new format today. I'm loving it.
Let's do it.
You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. Oh, baby, we are the talk of the 219, and we've got something new for you. We're going to break down some Bears video for you. Yeah. How about that? You ready to see some Chicago Bears? Are you ready? You ready for the monsters of the Midway? Or like the puppies of the Panhandle?
The monsters of the Milquetoast. Dude, my fantasy is so great today, man. I had Matthew Stafford starting against the Chicago Bears. Fabulous.
Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you. And I did. Now, all jokes aside, I did put in Adrian Peterson as one of my starting running backs in my fantasy.
You had a good day.
I was really happy. Yeah. But I didn't play David Montgomery because of just history. I was like, I'm not playing Montgomery. The one time I wouldn't play him. Yeah, well, okay. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't think it does. It shouldn't. But, you know, okay. So let's get to it. Let's talk about what did we see with Bears Lions week 13. Bears Lions. Jay Sizzle.
Dude, you saw an epic. Look, the Bears looked like they played great against a really bad football team. I think their head coach was just fired last week. You look right up here in that first half, they were looking good. They were moving the football around. But it was against a team that should have never been able to score that many points on this vaunted Bears defense. It was happily ridiculous because the Lions should have never been in this ball game. The Bears had this game in control, and they found a way to lose it anyway. Absolutely amazing.
All right, so let's give the viewers something to see. Let's give the listeners something to hear. Let's get ready to break it down. We're going to break it down for you in segments, and we're going to talk about Bears Lions.
You like that? Like that?
All right, Jay. So let's talk about Bears Lions. Yeah. Let's talk about the four quarters. As we always talk about in sports, it's always the four quarters. What makes up the four quarters? Were the Bears prepared to play four quarters of football today?
No, I don't think so. I think. Look, Mitchell Trubisky started off the game pretty well. Started off pretty hot. He was throwing the ball around. But again, this looked like another time a Bears defense who decided they weren't coming to play. They just weren't coming to play. How do you allow a Lions team like this to move the football against you? How many yards rushing did the Detroit Lions with that offense? They literally have an offensive line as bad as the Bears. And their offensive line, Adrian Peterson looked great, and he's about 65 years old. You know, so it just looked like a situation. It was a good football game between two bad teams. That's what it was. And the Bears figured out a way to lose it in the end.
Yeah, if you started watching the first half, I mean, the Bears were actually doing what you thought they should do. They came away with 9 points. Now, extra point being blocked, I don't have a problem with that.
Do we have two of them?
We did. We have two. But here's the thing. It was an offense that seemed to be moving down the field. They were matriculating, and they were doing their thing. And when you tell me that you got a Mitchell Trubisky that hasn't thrown an interception, you've got a running back who are making chunks, you've even got your receiver running back who's making 5-6 yards a carry, I'm good with that. I can live with that. I can actually live with what was happening. But what you can't live with is what happened in the end. And you saw it coming, Jay, in the second quarter when the Lions were able to rally and go all the way down the field and score before the 2-minute half mark. Let me put it this way. I don't know if you can honestly say this Bears is a vaunted defense. When you look at the numbers, your final numbers, total numbers, 460 yards the Bears defense gave up. They gave up 400 yards passing, only 60 yards rushing.
402 yards passing, sir. 3 TDs in the air. I was having a great fantasy day. I just want to let you know.
Hey, I mean, you're looking at it was a total debauchery from beginning of the second half to the end, and it shows really what happens when you don't put 2 quarters together or 2 halves together, and you only put 2 quarters together in the whole game.
Look, they got demolished last week, and then they got demolished in the air. Where was the pass rush? Matthew Stafford looked pretty good out there. Matthew Stafford, 9 out of 10.
He was pretty clean.
Look, 9 out of 10 of the Bears could outrun him in a 40-yard dash. 9 out of 10 of them could run him. 10 out of 11 at least could run him out of a 40-yard dash. He was still getting outside the pocket throwing the football. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and how does he get 400 yards in the air? And you had the Bears, I think, who had 131 yards rushing against the Lions. So this offense put up 30 points. They did everything they were supposed to do, but where was the defense? What happened to the defense? I mean, it was really one of those situations when you looked at this whole thing that the Bears were having, it seemed to me, a problem figuring out how to be a championship football team again, because they went right back to their mean, and where they always been at, and either one side is doing great and the other side is doing poorly, and this time it was the defense. The offense held up their end and the defense didn't hold up their end.
Yeah, you're looking at a team that really, it seemed like the whole thing fell apart. As they started to progress, they started to get worse, but we've talked about that before. It's always the lines. It starts in the lines, and it starts between those hash marks and the lines. The offensive line, for the most part, they held their own. They kept Mitchell Trubisky relatively clean. They held their own. Charles Leno is a disaster, but being injured or hurt, you pretty much understand that. Again, Rashad Coward was out there for some unknown godly reason. He was there.
Yeah.
But when you have your starting running back who had 72 yards, your backup running back at 59, and you're able to move the ball 140 yards on the ground, you should be victorious. Again, a quarterback who didn't throw an interception, who was relatively clean, you got almost 150 yards on the ground. To me, that's a winning formula.
You know, definitely the winning formula, but you figured out a way in the last 4 minutes of this ball game to lose this ball game. And I'm going to tell you a team that's not well coached. We're going to talk about it later on, but I'm going to talk about it right now. You have Allen Robinson. When the Bears needed, I believe, 10 yards, he catches the ball and runs out of bounds at the 9-yard marker, where he could have got 12 yards. Do we not understand that we need a first down? Do we not understand that? I just don't understand how that happens. A well-coached football team, a situationally coached football team, situationally aware, knows what they need to do. Everybody's on the same page. That was one of the most egregious acts, and I like Allen Robinson, I really do. But that was one of the most egregious acts I've seen. I know he was trying to get out of bounds. He was worried about it. But you also got to get to the first down marker. Do you not know you were 3rd and 10, I think that was, or 3rd and 9, and you only got 8 yards of it?
Right.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely could have.
And you knew that you had to get a first down to be able to keep the ball alive. And at that point, I want to say you had something like, what was it, 2 minutes left?
This was right at the end of the game. This was
right. It wasn't 2 minutes left. It was
like 20 seconds left. They would have gave him 2 more shots. They would have gave him 2 more shots. Right at the end of the game. I'm sorry, I probably didn't know which one I was talking about. But you're talking about right at the end of the game, would have got 2. You would have had 2 more shots to the end zone, and I think you were at the 13 or whatever it was right then, or somewhere around in there, and you run out of bounds. And you're 4 points down. Now you cause the Bears to have to do something which was incredible. That we're going to run the football. We're going to run the football.
You finally decide to run, right, on 4th and 1.
4th and 1 with the game on the line. You decide to run the football. 4th and 1, and you went 4th and a half a yard. Absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. Why not take a shot into the end zone? Why not? I just don't understand the move. You had a timeout. You had a timeout. Get Trubisky on the edge. Get the first down and just let him slide, declare himself down if that's what you wanted to do. It was just such
and do what you had been doing, which was rolling out, bootlegging him, go weak side, bootleg him, and then there you go. Yeah. Strong side bootleg. It doesn't matter to me. Whichever way you're gonna go, you know that Mitch is gonna roll out. You know somebody's gonna be. You do a high-low action on him, and guess what? Somebody could have picked up a
Look, Matthew Stafford looked like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, good grief.
He carved him up. He took him down the field. He carved him up. He looked like Aaron Rodgers. He was throwing out patterns. It was amazing. It was amazing. Where was the pass rush? It was amazing.
Let's talk about this real quick. Because I keep hearing Bears talk about it and people around. And when you're trying to compare Vic Fangio and where we are now with the Bears defensive coordinator, they play a lot of cover one, cover zero. So for the listeners who don't know what cover zero is, Jay, can you explain what is a cover zero?
Cover zero, you're going to man up across the board. We're going to go man across the board, no high safeties. And we're just going to play man all the way across the board. We're not zoning anything. Cover zero is difficult to play, especially if you're trying to cover crossing routes and stuff like that. But people play a lot of cover zero, that's where they play it.
So they're playing a lot of cover zero, cover one, and not focusing in on a rush to get up the middle to move Matt Stafford off his spot. So he's able just to sit where he is, dissect who's going to come open, or just find the receiver who's going to come open off of a cut or curl, an in route, and make the pass.
Yeah.
That's what was taking place all game. And so the question is, where is that vaunted defense? And is that vaunted defense really Akeem Hicks?
Hey, look, you wasted a Bilal Nichols interception.
An interception?
You wasted that. I just want to say Akeem Hicks is probably the most important person on the Bears defense. You need to pay him. We know we're missing our nose guard. We've been missing him all year. Khalil Mack is just not enough with Khalil Mack. You didn't get a lot of help off the other side. But the issue is that this defense hasn't been holding its offenses down the entire season. And now they got carved apart last week. They looked bad. And now this defense got carved apart worse. The only reason why we are not screaming bloody murder about this is because Mitchell Trubisky was able to move the ball against a very bad Detroit defense.
Right.
Very bad Detroit defense. He was able to move the football, and they were able to score 30 points in this game. Had they only scored single digits in this game, Matthew Stafford was going to put up that 400 yards regardless. And you talking about, look, right now, there should be a van pulling up to Hallis Hall. And Matt Nagy, Mr. Pace, and who's the president of football operations up there?
Ted Phillips.
They all need to get an Uber. You don't even get a limo out of there. They get an Uber out of there and a Domino's pizza to go.
Yeah.
And they need to send them on their way.
It's funny. Everybody's been talking about it. Now you have the Bears who were in the race before the end of this game for a wild card spot. Now you got Bears and Lions who are tied. You've got the Texans next week. And for some reason, everybody thinks that this Bears team is going to be able to beat. Now, I know Deshaun Watson didn't have a good game.
Who? Be able to beat who?
But
Be able to beat who? The only team they had a chance to beat was this team today. That was it.
Oh, that was it, huh?
That was it. Just the only chance. Look, I knew the Bears defense was going to give up a boatload of yards and was going to give up touchdowns. I had Matty Ice starting for me, playing for Atlanta. I switched him out and started Matthew Stafford, instead of him playing against the Bears defense because I knew what was getting ready to happen. I knew it. And it happened just like I thought it was. I thought he was going to go for 270 and 2 touchdowns for a fantasy day for me. That's good. But I got 400,
Mhm.
403 touchdowns. Woohoo! I'll take it every time. This Bears defense has decided that it's over with. Matt Nagy has lost the room. I don't want to hear another one of these milk toasts where I really got on the guys. I really got tough. We really need to figure out a way. We need to put some more mustard on our sandwiches. That's what we need to do and really get after these guys. Dude, nobody's listening to you anymore. Nobody's listening to you anymore because you couldn't stop a team that just lost their head coach last week.
So let me get this straight. The offense is in shambles. The defense has fallen apart. But there was one bright spot, and that was Cole Kmet. Well, there had to be one bright spot, Jay. You're good grief. Have you
ever made iced tea before? The hot iced tea, what they used to make down south way back in the day. You put the sugar in there. And you know how you pour the iced tea over the glass of ice?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's still hot except for that iced tea that's right around the ice cube. That's what Cole Kmet was. He's gonna melt away. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna melt away into this nonsense. Cole Kmet looked good, but he looked good on a bad team that he was playing against. This Detroit team is bad. Absolutely
and what did
bad.
They do with Jimmy Graham? Is he still on the team?
I don't know what happened to Jimmy Graham. Did he play? Did he catch anything?
Oh no, man!
I didn't even look.
It's so ridiculous. It doesn't even matter. I don't think it even matters. Like you're like, okay, all right. You got Anthony Miller still doing stuff.
Hey,
but
week 14. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. Matt Nagy should not be coaching the Bears in week 14. And you know why? Because they passed up on a quarterback that should have been playing here for the Chicago Bears, and they will be playing him next week, a real quarterback in Deshaun Watson.
Well, you know what? I guess we'll leave it there. I guess because there's nothing really else to say about this debauchery, this shenanigery, and this foolishness. This is the perfect trifecta. This is a Travis Shamockery.
This was the worst loss the Bears have had.
Wait. You just said that last week.
No. This was the worst loss. Absolute worst loss. Let me tell you why. They got sliced and diced by Aaron Rodgers, but he was Aaron Rodgers. You understand what I'm saying? He's Aaron Rodgers. At no point in time did you think the Chicago Bears were going to mount any type of effort, any type of comeback against the Packers. No kind of way. This game you had in hand. You had this game all through. I was watching this game going, whoa. I even turned away from this game to watch nephew play basketball because his game was on today. Turned him on to watch him. I'm like, oh, the Bears are up by 10. They got this in hand. I came back and I must have went to Back to the Future 4 or something like that. Because when I woke up, the Bears were down 4 points.
Right.
How is that possible?
It's impossible. But they made the impossible possible.
Why are we rolling? What? I don't understand.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them.
I got a commercial right here playing.
I want winners.
We need a 5G network.
I want people that want to win.
It's ridiculous, man. So I'm just saying, it's just one of those situations right now that you have a Bears team that not only is bad, but it's sorry.
No. You don't want me to go much further.
That's worse than bad. That's worse than bad. They're not going to win another game this year.
Well, at least they have a good draft position.
No, they won too many games early. They won too many games. Those 5 games they're going to be picking like 17th or something like that, 16th. All the quarterbacks will be gone, the decent ones. They had that one kid. What's that one kid everybody's talking about? The one at San Diego State or something like that?
Oh, yeah. You got some kids out there, San Diego, Utah.
A couple of guys like that.
They're going to be gone.
You know.
But you know what? If you are a talent evaluator worth your salt, you're able to find either a first round or second round quarterback who can come in and play.
Yeah, well, yeah, we passed up on 3 of those already.
Oh, okay.
One of them is probably going to the Hall of Fame that we passed up on. Probably he's going to the Hall of Fame. One of them we're going to play next week. He's going to probably be a starter unless he gets injured in the league. Unless he gets injured, he's going to be a starter in the league for 10 years, probably. And then another guy who was, I think, was he an MVP a couple of years? I think he was the MVP. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 of them were MVPs, right? Wasn't Mahomes the MVP? And Lamar Jackson, was he an MVP? Something like that?
He was a very important Raven. He was an MVR.
You know, it was my mom, who's 92 years old, said today, baby, what's wrong with him? When does basketball start? My mom asked, when do the Bulls start playing?
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
At this point, I just need a winner. I need somebody to win something.
Yeah, well,
and now, because of you, now I want some tea. I'm going to get tea.
Now you need a chicken dinner. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's
winner,
cool.
Winner, chicken dinner. That's
chicken
what you need
dinner.
right now.
You know what?
Look at Mr. Komet right there. He scored his touchdown. He's happy. They're patting each other on top of the head. They're looking fantastic. You know what, folks? We didn't even talk about none of these highlights. We got them playing. We were going to talk about them. And guess what? We decided not to. Because they weren't worth talking about. They just weren't.
Yeah. And the funny part was Komet scored on the same type of play that the Packers used last week against the Bears.
Look, bro. Look at Bernal Nichols right there, man. Intercepted that pass. They're all happy, jumping up and down.
Pocket right there. I mean, once that happens, that's called game. We won.
You won this one. You know what I'm saying? Then look at this. Here's Mitchell Trubisky, double pump. Why is he hanging on to the football? Get rid of. I don't understand why he's standing there hanging on to the football. He's making these guys look all world. I wasn't gonna talk about this because they're just getting me mad. They're just getting me mad. They have a great punt down here. They got them deep into their own territory, and it's just like all of a sudden, oh, here we go. Oh, hi, I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm Aaron Rodgers. This is Matthew Stafford said I'm Aaron Rodgers. And he's driving them downfield. Look at that throw, G-Sizzle. 2 plays, they're down to the Bears 40. You know what I'm saying? So, this Bears defense gave up.
The Bears can't do it.
Oh, look at that throw. Good Lord.
Look, let me ask you something. Why does Mitchell Trubisky have the worst throw in the league?
Oh, dude. Some days he looks fantastic, and other days he looks like he's from the Little Sisters of the Poor Rec League.
And no disrespect to the Little Sisters of the Poor. We're just saying at the number 2 pick, you should be better than that.
The Bears were winning by 10 points with 2 minutes left, I think, in the fourth quarter. Am I right about that? Yes.
Yes, sir.
With 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they were winning by 10. And here we go, the strip sack. Here we go. Mitchell back there double pumping. Did you see that? He's double pumping it 2 or 3, 4 times. Come on, somebody get open. Somebody get open.
It didn't. No lineman can get the ball. Nobody. Nobody said fumble.
And here's Adrian Peterson, Old Man River, Tutty. I don't know. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. Well. Okay. On that note, there is something to be very excited about. If you have not signed up, if you have not subscribed, if you're not following the Sizzle, it's easy. You can do it right now. You hit the like button. You hit it. You subscribe, and then you share. Yeah. It's an amazing thing. It's free.
Yeah.
So all we need you to do is just follow along. Make sure that you're subscribing to Iron Skillet. Iron Skillet Sports, to the Sizzle. That's all you have to do. Find us at Iron Sports. You can find us anywhere. We're everywhere. Everywhere you should be. Everywhere we are. Because you should be there.
Because you should be there.
All right. So, Jay, let's leave the people with something hot.
Anybody playing against the Chicago Bears, take the quarterback. Hey, basketball season get ready to start. Then who else? We got the Blackhawks get ready to come on there. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got
one of your biggest free agent acquisitions for the Bulls just tested positive for COVID. Yeah, that's how it starts.
Hey, but yeah, look, we got NBA basketball. Hey, it's gonna be great. NBA basketball is gonna be a blast this year. So we're looking forward to that.
And we've got our fantasy league coming up.
Yeah.
I think this year we're going to do something special. We might have a paid league and a free league, just, for fun.
Yeah.
But you've got to follow us. You've got to follow us on Messenger. You've got to follow us on Facebook, Instagram to know where to get the link to sign up for the fantasy football, our yearly fantasy football, but at least make sure you're following to know how to sign up for fantasy basketball. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we're going to start breaking down some video, got stuff. Today we just decided not to do it. We were just so upset with this Bears game. We just decided not to break down. But next time we'll break down maybe, I don't know, it might be the Bears next week. And we'll break down 5 reasons why they lost. That might be the title of the video.
Wait, we can break it down. They already broke it down.
Yeah.
The defense broke down.
I don't know, man. Anyway, hey, all you Bears fans out there, I'm with you. Cry me a river, baby. Cry me a river.
No, you don't want me to go much further. Go right ahead.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. We're the hardest talk in the 219, and we will see you on the other side.